What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update, guys. This one coming on that corrupt judge Juan Merchan over in the hush money trial with that corrupt, district attorney Alvin Bragg. They worked, hand in hand to come after Donald Trump with this political witch hunt charade case. And now we got that whole thing flipping and backfiring on Judge Juan Merchan today after Alina Habba has come forth exposing him on new evidence, new details that could potentially get him kicked off and removed from this case, force him to recuse himself and maybe even be removed from that seat as a judge, maybe, seeing some disbarment coming for that corrupt judge Juan Merchan based off his actions. I'm excited to get into the update and see exactly what Alina Habba, has to expose in detail in this update. So we're gonna get straight to the clip and I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. So definitely stick around until the end. So you guys get my thoughts on the back end. And also YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. But yo, let's get straight into the clip. Before we even do that though, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Alina Habba blasts Judge Juan Merchan. This is the guy under Alvin Bragg, sent to prosecute Trump, who just now got $9,000 worth of gag orders slapped on him for contempt of court for his free speech. They're trying to gag his free speech, keep him from commenting and exposing Juan Merchan, which is why we're doing shows on this to get the word out for Trump. Help me spread this link around. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Really helps multiply this channel out. And we speak where Trump is gagged. We're free to say it, that Judge Juan Merchan is corrupt. And his daughter, his adult daughter, is a major fundraiser for Kamala Harris and Adam Schiff. Totally compromised, totally corrupt. Most people are saying this New York case especially is about to fall apart, on the brink of it. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. Let's watch Alina Habba.
The issue that Donald Trump is dealing with, the political persecution, and is directly correspondent to the calls for Marxism from our college campuses right now. Show me the man, I'll show you the crime, Alina.
The Biden protests that are going on are horrible. It's all caused by him because he doesn't know how to speak. He can't put two sentences together. He's got to get out and make a statement because the colleges are being overrun in this country.
I threw that clip in at no additional charge that Trump is calling out Biden. These are the Biden protests. They're being funded by something, and it is tied to Biden not being able to speak, that they're trying to drum up the radicals to come and create mass riots at our campuses to represent Biden in a campaign. So, and it's tied back to this corrupt, funded, communist-funded Juan Merchan, the judge.
It's so sad. And it's sad, Carl, that he can't speak about it. The gag orders, the unconstitutionality. I mean, what is more Colombia, Russia? What is more third world?
What this Judge Merchan has done is turn the Constitution on its head by illegally, unconstitutionally gagging a criminal defendant. If anyone in America needs the constitutional right to speak out against the judge, the prosecutor, their staffs, the witnesses, their biases in the process, it is a criminal defendant going through a criminal trial.
So it's another form of communism that it's just famous for. It is censorship. You have to gag your political enemy, whether if you use the court or if you use the barrel of a gun. In this case, they're using the courts. Why use a gun when you can get it done by a judge? And that's the great Mike Davis on Laura Ingraham's show, who clerked for, I think, Gorsuch. He clerked for one of the main Supreme Court guys, but I love him too. He's a great voice. We'll continue. I'm just tying it all together that the judge is corrupt. It has to do with these university protests and Trump's gag order. It's going back to this being some kind of organized Marxism. I don't believe in conspiracies, but I believe in synchronicity.
What happened in court today with the gag order and the anger that you're seeing from these judges, it's very concerning for me.
You know, I actually looked at what we could see out of that. And the gag order, it's like the judge imposes a gag order, and I'm not gagged by this, so I can say anything in the world about this. This judge's daughter is a liberal activist, and he's catering to stuff so she can raise money, and I'll make that accusation. You don't have to.
Well, I really think you have a lot of paid agitators, professional agitators in here, too, and I see it all over. And, you know, when you see signs and they're all identical, that means they're being paid by a source. You know, these aren't hand-painted signs where people would go to their basement and paint something because they really believed it. These are all signs that are identical. They're made by the same printer. And, you know, when you see that, that means there's somebody at top that's paying or a group that's paying.
So it's both Trump and this Newsmax and Alina Habba are all making the case. There's evidence that these riots are somehow tied to our election and somehow tied to Trump's gag order. And Trump is calling out that all the signs look like they're printed by the same people we had said already. All of the tents are the same. That is, they were purchased en masse by some big funder. I don't really even care who did it. It might be Soros, or it might be private, or it might be the White House. I don't know. I only know that this is not about Trump's. They're not giving Trump free speech. They're trying to, this is how the Biden campaign is trying to run an election. It's not going to work on the people. It hasn't worked so far. It's backfiring on them.
Yeah, this is the same methodology that judges have done with me, and the left-wing media, they'll run with it. They try and make attorneys on the team look or seem like they don't know what they're doing. They know that the press is in the room. So they do this intentionally today with Mr. Blanche to say to Todd something like, you're losing credibility because there's no case law on a president being gagged and his First Amendment rights being taken away. Well, let me tell you why there's no precedent on that. There's no precedent on that because it's never happened before.
So this is about even the judge, Juan Merchan, who's the only one who thinks this case is going to hold together. And he has a bias, by the way, a reason to make it so, because his career's on the line. He's going to be the guy that this whole thing fell apart. But all the other major experts on this, including many, many Democrats, are going, this is the thinnest, dumbest case they've ever seen. This is spaghetti. And now they're just using it to try and tie up Trump, keep him off the campaign trail. 8 hours a day, he can't campaign. Hoping that by pushing the scales down in Biden's favor, that maybe Biden will help crawl over the finish line. And he's probably going to literally die on the campaign trail. He's so just a shambling, shimmering man. There's nothing left of, he's such a shambling man. There's just nothing much left of him even to campaign with.
This Michael Cohen is a disbarred attorney. He's a convicted perjurer. And he's out there trashing Trump during a criminal trial. And when President Trump tries to respond to this goofball, this biased Democrat Manhattan judge, Juan Merchan, who donated to Biden in 2020, donated to another anti-Trump cause, and whose adult daughter, Lauren Merchan, is fundraising off of this criminal trial, requiring Judge Merchan's recusal. How does Judge Merchan respond? He imposes an illegal, unconstitutional prior restraint on Trump's constitutional rights.
And we have to keep bringing this up. That's Michael Cohen over there on the right in the cowboy hat, who testified against Trump. Used to be Trump's friend, now is stabbing him in the back. He's already considered the biggest liar. It's like he has no credibility to his case. And then Mike Davis is just calling that out. So even as Trump gets a gag order, all of the bad guys that are up against him are frauds. They're clowns. They have nothing on the man. They can't make anything stick. Trump keeps winning, and the people have his back. And now all that happens is that people just see it over. Even if you try and shut him up with a gag order, people just look at him and go, why is Trump getting a gag order put on him? Why isn't there a gag order on Michael Cohen? Why is Michael Cohen able to make money off of going online every day and ridiculing Trump? Why can't Trump turn around and say the same thing back to him? It's becoming obvious to everyone. In this internet age, the state is not going to be able to pull off what it thinks it can on behalf of Marxism and communism and erecting this giant monstrous force. I don't think you know the American people, and you don't see what we're going to do with the internet.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those of you who want to go over there and check that out. Also, you guys to go over there and show our friend Doug a bit of love. Oh my goodness, guys. We just seen Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, breaking it down for us how this whole case of Juan Merchan and Alvin Bragg, the charade case they brought about, reviving that dead case that, was a misdemeanor, upgraded to a felony in order to, get this thing back on trial, get Trump tried and on trial and tied up in court. It's not going to work, guys. None of it's going. We already knew this wasn't going to work, but I'm so glad we've got, Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, coming out and just simply stating this whole thing is a dumpster fire. And everyone on the left knows, everyone on the right knows it. And so these, corrupt justice, corrupt judge, Juan Merchan and DA Alvin Bragg both know that, the two alone won't be able to take this guy, Donald Trump, down with this, very thinning case. It's all falling apart. And to be honest, this whole case was flimsy from the start. When it was brought about, there was no initial, what was being covered up? What was the initial crime to this case? It just didn't make sense, and it never has. You could see straight through and see the political motivation as to why, DA Alvin Bragg would have interest in, reviving such a dead case, in order to get this guy, Donald Trump, back in court. Honestly, this is the case that Donald Trump needed in order to prove to the folks, just out there who weren't paying attention or, who didn't believe him to say that, they're actually coming after me with this weaponized state, and, weaponized Department of Justice system, lawfare against a political opponent, in order to keep me off that, out of that seat as president later on this year, guys. They're keeping him out that campaign trail, inside the courtroom. But, he's turning and flipping that into his favor. And, Juan Merchan knows that, and so does Alvin Bragg. This is why we've seen that gag order coming from, Juan Merchan and his camp. They don't want Donald Trump benefiting too much inside of the courtroom. They've seen him gaining, a lot of steam, a lot of headway, as far as, polls after, his case was brought about by that corrupt district attorney, Alvin Bragg. You could see that Donald Trump was benefiting a lot. And he was also speaking the truth about, how his daughter, is a Democratic fundraiser, and he should recuse himself, just based off his political interests. He's definitely tainted in this case, and he won't be able to, be impartial on the judgment of Donald Trump. Oh, and we all know that's the one thing, this corrupt judge is scared of, is the truth. And that's why we've seen him slapping that gag order on Donald Trump. Donald Trump going against the gag order like, hey, man, I don't want to see you try to throw me in jail. That'll be the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. Toss me in jail in front of all these people to see all my fellow Americans that see me fighting for them day in and day out. Toss me in jail and show that you guys are, a big political hack job after one thing, and that's, to interfere with the 2024 election, guys. Yo, definitely hop in the comment section though, guys. This was another heater coming from Alina Habba. She never, holds back. She's always going to call the balls and the strikes how she's seen it, no matter, it's in her favor or if it's not, she's going to tell it how it is. And she's simply laying it all out there in this clip, going off on Judge Juan Merchan and his corruption with his teammate, DA Alvin Bragg, coming forth with that gag order on Donald Trump and slapping him with that fine, $9,000, and saying that I will hold you in contempt of court if you continue down this road. Donald Trump is not scared that he's not going to back down or quit, telling the truth about what's going on, about this political witch hunt, and how this charade case needs to be tossed out, along with these rogue justices and these corrupt judges like Juan Merchan. They all need to be disbarred and removed from their spot. But guys, definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this clip. Definitely had Alina Habba demonstrating pretty well here, guys. Definitely let me know what you're thinking. Also, make sure you guys hit that share button and share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible, guys. Share the truth. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost one thing, guys. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next one week.